Extra side note here, guys, don't use flashlights or lasers right now in game. They are bugged. Even if you have them turned off, people will be able to see them, sometimes through walls, a lot of times through walls. So although the patch yesterday was very good, especially for interchange and reserve, which if you guys haven't played interchange or reserve yet, I highly suggest that you do. Leave the flashlights and the lasers at home. What's up, guys? Nolan here. In case you didn't hear, BSG are going to put on a Tarkov TV on Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time over there on their Twitch channel. Tarkov TVs are the main source of information from BSG on Escape from Tarkov for what they're currently working on and what they plan to do for the future of the game. Since this is happening, I figured I'd prep you guys on what will, should, and could be discussed, which I mainly believe will be Arena and Unity21. Mainly probably isn't the right word there. It's just really what should be discussed since it's the two main things that are becoming with the next patch. But what could be discussed is a long list, so we'll get into that. But as always, first, if you like this video, hit the button, subscribe for more. I'd really appreciate it. Now, first things first, this is the obvious stuff, which includes Demirka playing and getting killed by AI almost immediately. That is a guarantee. Also, juice time and all the memes and shenanigans they usually do with the Tarkov TV stuff. It's a good time. Now, second would be Arena, which should have had some form of closed testing by now for it, but since it's closed and likely under NDA, we haven't heard about it yet. Although, given the state of the community, I'm not gonna lie, I bet it would have leaked somehow by now. So I don't think there's been much testing, and even if there was, we still are waiting to hear about a proper full test for it. And given the timing, I think it's likely that we hear about it, or at the very least, see some new stuff for Arena with this Tarkov TV. I really do hope so. Anybody that's wondering about the dynamic of what they should be focusing on as a team, there are two separate teams for Arena. So if you're worried about optimization or the stuff that's going on with the base game, it doesn't involve Arena because there are different people working on Arena. Also, in case you're wondering, as of right now, EOD owners will get Arena for free, while everyone else will need to purchase it separately, and the separate cost was said to be no more than the base game, so about $40 USD. BSG put out a list the other day for what they are currently working on, and almost all of it was included in yesterday's patch except for Unity 21. Upgrading to a new version of Unity is a big deal, so I wasn't expecting it until the next wipe anyway, and it seems like that might be the case. Now, Unity 21 is an interesting change because it is the most recent yet most supported engine available for Unity, meaning it is the newest but also had the most updates and the most work done to it. With Unity 2021, they have the LTS program, aka the Long Time Support Program. So even though this is Unity 2021 and we are obviously in 2023, 21 is still getting supported with updates constantly now, with the latest patch being just last week. At some point, it will go to monthly support allegedly until mid-2024, which if BSG want to do an initial release sometime late next year for Escape from Tarkov, that timing would be perfect. So we'll see if that ends up being the case. Again, that's going to be another jumping point for people to be asking a lot of questions. And again, the point where I have to sound like I'm making excuses for BSG and stuff like that. I'm just the news guy. I'm just talking about what I think is going to happen and what's happening with the game and all that stuff. And given the amount of features that are in the game right now and what else they plan on adding to the game for an initial release, I do think that late next year is about the time that they might be shooting for. We'll see what happens. Also, keeping in mind there's a lot of DLC planned for this game, and they do plan to support it for at least several years after the initial release. Now, I'm not an expert, but if BSG were looking to optimize the game as much as possible, I believe this would be the best route. I asked a couple of my buddies who do work around AA studios who actually use versions of Unity 2021 for their current releases as well, and they don't have anything bad to say about it in particular. Really, anything that is bad about Unity, they just basically say they would rather be working with Unreal. There's some that were saying it's not as out of the box as Unreal, but that's not an issue with an established project like this. Basically, if you were starting from scratch, Unreal is in a good position, but we're way past that, obviously. One of my buddies is an art director for a AAA studio, and although they don't use Unity 2021 for their current project, he was messing around with it himself for some passion projects, and he said that the Unity HDRP, or high definition render pipeline, has a more accurate lighting model. Elements can be depicted more realistically. Bounce light and shadows are more sophisticated than the universal render pipeline or vanilla Unity. I asked him specifically if he heard any horror stories about it, and they didn't know of any, but still said if they were starting from scratch, they'd pick Unreal. So TLDR, the experts that I know like Unity 2021 and have nothing bad to say about it, while it does add great tools and allow BSG to work quicker and more efficiently. So overall, I think it'll be a very good use of their time to get it updated. Past the obvious couple of guns here and there, along with the attachments and gear they always add in major patches, Arena and Unity 21, I really am lost when it comes to what else could happen, since it's now been a full year since BSG have gotten very quiet about the stuff they plan to do with the game. I have my own full list that can technically be called a roadmap, but it really is just a list of what BSG have said in the past is either already being being work in progress or plan to be in the game. Those of you that have caught my discussion and my tweets talking about this stuff, about how I was helping BSG with this stuff, this is what I was talking about. I have a full list of, again, everything that BSG or Nikita himself have talked about in the past. So it might come up in the Tarkov TV or it might come up later. I'm not exactly sure what their plans are for their official roadmap, but I did what I could. I gave them the full list of what they've talked about in the past. Doesn't mean it's all going to be there. I am feeling kind of confident about it, which is why I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, because that list requires its own video, because I will need to talk about each subject. I tried putting out bits and pieces of it on Twitter and everybody got confused and was really a lot of questions and again, just a lot of confusion about it. So I will go through each point where I'm talking about it in particular so that you guys have the best information that you can have. And that's going to be tomorrow, which should line up with the Tarkov TV pretty well a day later. So we'll see what I get right and what I get wrong for the stuff that they end up talking about. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord for the latest news. Like the video if you did, sub for more, ask any questions you might have in the comments. Check out my other channels for other games right here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.